I would strongly recommend you not just use exactly what I type
Oh,
or
yeah.
that you maybe rewrite it to some degree. But
Mhm.
we can definitely do this. So it says you're watching the news and see a news report about groundwater contamination. Curious, you want to know more about how it may affect your community. From the following list of sites, select the one most likely to contain accurate information about hazardous waste sites. Use the site to answer the parts of this question. Okay. So my guess is that, well, do you know if they're trying to get you to pick one here because they're saying like some are bad, like, oh, don't use Wikipedia, don't use answers.com. Any idea like that?
I think so because like if they send us multiple links, I assume that the one of them will be the most reliable. I know that Wikipedia isn't the most reliable source. Maybe it would be on that handsonhealth.org one.
Yeah, so let me just backtrack on that. I mean, Wikipedia got a bad data press at some point. It's actually very reliable. They've done enough research now that the teachers get into this habit of saying, "Don't go to Wikipedia." Part of it is that they sort of do all the work for you.
Yeah. I
Now,
mean, I once used Wikipedia for a report.
there is a way to use Wikipedia, and we could talk about that if we need to. But if you go to handsonhealth.org, um,
Mm-hmm.
the health topics that they cover is they do have the environment and the health. The So that's probably a good one. The EPA.gov, surprised that that's on there. That is the Environmental Protection Agency. That's a good one, um, but it's maybe not for that's too national. So if we're choosing one here, I guess this is probably the best one. Answers.com is in some ways like a Wikipedia where it's not really the most helpful.
Got
But
it.
the thing is though, is that when you go to a website like this, it generally gives you the answers that you want. Like, so that's why it's like, well, I'm not sure that I completely disagree with going there. I think that it could be. Um, it's just that
Yeah.
your
It's
teacher
more like
must be,
cheating. It's a little bit like
well,
cheating.
wouldn't go that far. Um, so because sometimes these other websites are very difficult to navigate and to figure out, well, what is it that actually is there? How are we going to find this information? So what is the super fund and when was it started? So, uh, you go to a website like the one that they're giving you there, and I mean, I don't, we can go look at it together here, real quick. Um, you go to a website like this, and it's like, well, where do we go from here? You know, um,
Oh, yeah.
you can see here environment and health. That's where I was at. Find out about major health sites, medicines, things like that. Like it's probably here. It's just it's not as straightforward. I mean, maybe this course wants you to be learning about how to navigate, websites. I'm not really sure, but um, what I'm also not seeing is like a search bar. Usually, it's nice to be able to go and search. Um, so, did your lesson give you any other insights into how to actually answer the questions? Like, it's because it does say to use this site to answer the parts of the question. And, I'm, yeah. Whereas, okay, we go to the EPA. Well, uh, I'm not sure. Let's do a search here. I mean, this is what I was looking for is something with a super fund where we could look at it together and see if we could find the answer here like that.
I've never heard of a super fun until now. I just wanted to say.
Yeah. So here we go. EPA deck. So Superfund, what is Superfund? So this might change our answer here. Thousands of contaminated sites exist nationally due to hazardous waste being dumped, left out in the open, late 1970s, so on and so on. We received attention. So, um, you know, it looks like in 1980 it was established.
Got
So
it.
what was the Superfund and when was it? When was it? So, like here's how I can help you best, I think, is we go back to the other document. So let me go and share that. What I want to do here is somehow indicate that this is straight from the website and that you should rewrite this. Like this should be rewritten. Um, and actually it is from the EPA website, so maybe want to take that away. Um, and then maybe I add in like the link. Um, Now, so what I'm suggesting here is that you should rewrite this on your own. Maybe should even say that rewrite on your own. But is your goal here to like get these done through our lessons? I mean, I don't want you to spend a ton of time after the fact working on this.
We'll try to get as much as we can done with the amount of time we have right now. And then if we don't finish much of it, I'll try to finish some of it on my own, and then the next time we meet, I'll send you what I've tried to finish.
So like what I'm really trying to ask you here is like, do you want to try to rewrite this on your own right now, or do you want to um you know,
I'll try to rewrite it on my own later.
okay.
I'm right now just keeping notes a little bit on what to do at the same time to make sure
Okay.
that I will remember it.
All right, so what region is South Carolina in? What other states belong to this region? So we're going to go back to the other. So let's do a site search. Um, let's go to, what did it say, South Carolina?
Yeah.
So what is it asking here again? What region is South Carolina in? It's a great question.
So wait, states belong to different regions in a way?
I guess the way they're talking about it, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't, South Carolina to me is a southern state. Um, so states, regions, states by region. I'm just sort of guessing here, by the way. I
Yeah.
don't actually necessarily know.
Yeah, because
Um,
if it belongs, if it like talks about regions and stuff, wouldn't like, I don't know, for example, like if it says like, oh, South and whatever, wouldn't Alabama also belong to the South in a way?
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for something that gives like you sort of saw in this last picture here on the
Mm-hmm.
right here. There's clearly some sort of a sector or region.
Yeah.
Feel free to jump on this website, epa.gov, and see if you can figure out where what region we're in. Um, Again, this is where sometimes it's better just go out to Google to find it. EPA region by state. Um, Google tends to be better at searching and giving you what you want anyway. Right. So
Yeah.
region four, region four
So
here includes, go ahead.
so I searched it up. It says that like it's in the South, obviously, like Alabama and all of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look on it, if you look more specifically though, it's very clear that it's saying it's region four, southeast, and you just have to, we just have to sort of find this information. Um, so what I did here is I added that back to the um, to the document here. Maybe I need to do this differently. So I occasionally, let me see if I can, why don't I do this split screen? I don't know if this will be too small to see, but let's try this. All right, so see if I can new share. Or maybe that's okay. All right, so what I've done here is I've split screen everything. I don't know if that's too small to see or be useful, but what region is South Carolina in? Region four. What I'm doing is adding the links in case you want to go back. Uh, and again, when I put something in quotes, keep in mind that that means that that's straight from the internet. You're going to want to rewrite that, or I can do it another way if that's
No, it's okay. I will rewrite it.
okay. All right. So now, what is the name of the Superfund site that is closest to your home? So we really want to go back to this Superfund page that we were looking at earlier.
And I have to know what it is for Arizona.
Yeah, sites where you live, and so we'll go Arizona. What we'll go. All right. Let's see here.
I'm in
You know,
Scottsdale, so
so
yeah.
there's maybe that one, Indian Bend, Wash. There's more entries. Let's take a look there. None of those are close. All right. So Indian Bend, Wash area looks like it's the closest.
I'm like Scottsdale, Phoenix area, so if I use one of the two websites, it'll work for me.
Sure. They're not trying like the teachers want you got to do enough here to show that you did this.
There's gotta be
And
enough
so
evidence.
yes. All right. So this is so like this right here, you can just copy right in because it's there's there's nothing to change about that. Um, what address or zip code you use to locate it? I mean, we didn't use any of them. We just did a search. So I don't know. You can decide if you need to add more to that. All right. So which site did you use? We used the EPA.gov site. All right. So we want to maybe add in some information here. Why did you select it? Well, it appeared to be, so then these
It
are my
appeared to
words
me
here.
it appeared to be the most informative and useful site. And
Yep.
it was, huh?
Yep. That's good. It's a government website.
I mean, if it's from the government, you know it's gonna be the most informative, I assume.
That's, that's, you gotta be careful with stuff like that.
Not everything, not
Not
all
everything.
of it's useful. There's some things you can't see.
Some things, yeah. But, but that would be um, and so we, you may want to add, we believe that the government has an obligation to, I don't know, provide the most up-to-date information.
Especially if it's about like our planet. and
Yeah.
like all of that, right?
Yeah. All right. So are there 10 of these questions? There are. Wow. That was a lot for
Yeah.
one question. Okay.
I like the fact when they give me questions that have sub questions in it because that just adds. I'm like that just is more questions than
Yeah.
10. It's like
All right.
20.
Your Uncle Jim makes a salad dressing that you really like. After Sunday's dinner, he gives you a bottle of some of the dressing to take home to use during the following week.
Is a
When you
ranch.
take when you take the bottle out of the fridge the next day, you see that there are different layers of fluids. Your first instinct is call Uncle Jim and ask him whether the dressing went bad. However, you remember reviewing the scientific method and want to use it to find out what happened to the dressing. Write out each of the 6 steps above, applying the scientific method to this observation. All right. What is your observation? It's not ranch. Excuse me.
Um. Okay, this is now an actual science question. Anyway.
Yeah. What did you
Yeah.
observe?
Okay. So the biggest thing when reading this, the different layers of fluid in the ranch bottle.
Okay. So the question that you ask is,
Why are different layers?
well, I was going to say, I don't know if did the dressing go bad? Why are there different layers?
That
Okay.
those are two good questions.
So what is your hypothesis? Is it that the dressing has went bad or something else?
Okay. This is just a question right now before I say the hypothesis. Did the person put the dressing in the fridge? Because if it is, let's just say ranch, 'cause I know it's not, then it would go bad because sometimes dressing requires to be like in the fridge,
Yeah,
right?
since sometimes I think I got to tell you the answer so we can do the rest of this. The salad dressing did not go bad. It just separated into its
Oh,
um different um like
into its different
oil components. I mean that's okay. So the hypothesis would be that what are you trying to prove? That the salad dressing did not go bad. The salad dressing is still good.
it made look bad because the layers are all everywhere. But maybe if
Yeah.
you just try it, you'll realize like, oh, it's all bad. It's
So,
just
well, your test is to shake it up and see
okay.
if it looked like it did before. So what is your prediction? Your prediction is
If I shake
yep,
if I shake the dressing, it will go back to normal.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then your conclusion is that the salad, uh, the conclusion is that the salad dressing is okay.
Hmm. I think I've seen something similar happen before. When I think, and when my friend shook up a bottle and everything went back to normal, kind of. I think I've seen something like that. I guess like when you don't touch a dressing for a while, it just kind of breaks apart because you always have to shake it. It's like a ketchup bottle, you have to shake it to make sure it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um, it's actually okay.
Yeah. It's nothing's bad with it unless it's expired. Hmm. Okay.
Well, even that's, that's debatable. I mean, the expirations are probably more for, you know, lawsuits.
Yeah.
They don't want people to get sick.
That's
All right.
understandable.
All right. So one of the ways we can do this, because I assume you have a computer here, is
Yes, that's
in the
how I'm
chat.
talking.
That's how we're doing this.
That's how we're doing this.
You'll notice that I put the question 3 in the chat, the 6 steps.
Yes.
Do you have something open that you can type with and just try to write a few things for each one, and I'll help you revise them here.
I'm using a
Um,
notebook right now to write, but I can type in the
oh, you're
Zoom
doing it
chat
on
right now.
paper. Yeah, if you could,
Do both. I'm writing down my like in my own words the answers to all the questions so I can just copy them onto my answers at the end of this so it's easier. But I'll also write in the Zoom chat for this.
yeah. So take a moment, work through this question. Let's see what you come up with.
All right, I'm gonna just read this right now. Perfect. Okay, so um I just read the question. Ah, okay, she's using a new fertilizer. Um, for the question, like for the second thing for the question, I think what I should write is like, how will I know that the the fertilizer will work, I guess? Or is that working more for a hypothesis?
Uh, yeah, your question is will will the fertilizer make the roses grow faster?
Yeah, I'll just write down what I think will work and then we'll work on it together. Sorry, this is kind of a struggle because this is a lot of thinking.
Yeah, just do the best you can. We'll
Yeah.
keep working on the other ones here together, but you can also try these in advance. It's not like math where one leads to the next. They're sort of independent questions.
Okay, I skipped the hypothesis for right now because I just thought, okay, if if I use some of Barbara's fertilizer on one rose and then regular on the other, I can see if it grows faster or not. because I don't know what to write for the hypothesis.
Well, your hypothesis is that adding fertilizer will make the roses grow faster.
What if Barbara's just lying to me and trying to scam me?
We can't, yeah, we're not gonna do that. That's we're gonna assume this is all reasonable.
Yeah. And that's a question, don't worry. I That was just a little bit of sarcasm.
Well, I agree, but
I don't know what to write for the conclusion, but can I send you what I have so
yeah,
far?
that's fine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I've written, and I think it could be better.
I'm not. There's no judgment here. It's just.
Yeah.
All right. So let me grab what you've got here. Good.
I don't know why, but I kind of want to write for the conclusion. The flowers grow the same because I don't think there could be one fertilizer that's stronger than the. I mean, there can be. It just I don't know.
All right. So of course this doesn't work the way I want. That's okay. Um, yeah, Barber roses are growing faster. That's perfect. Okay, that's fine. Question: will the fertilizer help the yeah, maybe you want to be more specific to roses. Um,
Oh,
Hypothesis: adding fertilizer will make the roses grow faster and flower more. Yeah. Yep. Prediction: if I use yep, that's good. If I use some of the fertilizer, you expect your roses to grow faster. They will grow faster and flower more. Tests, I will, yeah. So it's very repetitive, right?
yeah. That's a. I'd not. I was kind of trying to rush this a little bit.
Oh, it's good. That's good. Conclusion, the roses with that use fertilizer will grow and flower more. Okay.
All right, just give me a moment. I'm copying this down on my piece of paper. But what do they mean by flower exactly? Like, do they mean
Bloom.
bloom?
Yeah.
Because I've never heard someone say flower before for that kind of situation.
I get yeah, I don't know what to say. But um let's next look at inductive and deductive reasoning.
All right.
So the big difference here between them is that and I'm going to snip this picture in, but you don't want to include this in your answers on another screen. Okay. Boy, I don't like that. Okay. So here's the difference between inductive and deductive reasoning. So inductive reasoning starts with observations and then draws a general conclusion. Deductive reasoning is from a general theory. So it would be like the law of gravity or something that we know to be true.
Uh,
So I always kind of like, using weather, like it rains on Monday, it rains on Tuesday, it rains on Wednesday. Uh,
it rains for a whole
therefore,
week.
it will rain all week. Yeah. Okay. Something like that. Deductive reasoning, and you want to check to see that these aren't, it says here that's not found in the lesson. Deductive reasoning is a general theory. Do you know if the law of gravity is in your lesson?
Um, no, but let me check because looking. I'm gonna just look at the pre of all the lessons. I'm pretty sure gravity's gonna be in here. Um, I mean, when I look at all the lessons that there is, the only thing that I can there's only one lesson that has motion, but I don't know if that's close to gravity. But no, I don't think there's gravity in this lesson. But I think we can still use gravity.
Okay. Um, all right. So the law of gravity says that, what goes up must come down. If I throw my hat in the air, what will happen?
It will like come down because
It will come
gravity.
down. Yeah.
I, I think how gravity was discovered is amazing. It it's very
Some
interesting.
some people say though that it wasn't discovered, it was it was always there. It was
It
just
was
that,
always there. It just never had a name until Isaac Newton was like, "It's gravity."
yeah, it's like we discovered something that was already there.
Yeah. And I find that kind of funny at the same time, like, wow, who knew that it's always been there, we just never had a name for it.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So it will come down, something like that. All right. So that's question. Find out about one theory in physics and one theory in chemistry and report your findings here. This feels like something you could do on your own right now. Just go out to the
Okay.
internet and find some sort of a theory in physics or chemistry.
All right, I'm gonna just do that really quickly.
I'll be right back with you.
Okay. Are you back?
All right, I'm back. Did you come up with a theory in physics?
Oh yeah. I searched up like because they're saying, find out. Well, one of the things that when I searched it up, the first thing that popped up was the theory of relativity.
Yeah, we want to stay away from I mean that's fine, but that's let's uh like we want to choose simple ones.
Yeah.
So for example,
Big Bang Theory.
how about Newton's law of gravitation? Like we've been um so like not the best way to do it, but if you go out to the internet and let me drop this. Let me actually I guess I can you're still seeing my screen. Um Here. So major theories and laws in physics.
Mhm.
So, for example, I don't know how you're supposed to know any of these, but Newton's law of gravitation, Newton's laws of motion, these would be good ones.
Everything's with Isaac Newton.
Yes, he's a big deal. Kind of a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. Then
Um,
wasn't Newton the one to discover also the math calculus?
he did. He did some of
Yeah.
it. One of the
Thank
guys.
you, man.
Yeah. And then chemistry. So what I'm seeing over here on the left is maybe there's a chemistry um, category. Do you see chemistry anywhere?
Mm-mm. All I see is
Either.
computer science.
We're in the wrong place. Okay. Theories and chemistry. So again, okay, this is a good way to use Wikipedia is you're not using this as a resource, but they've already done the work for you. Like how about the Bohr model? Have you heard of
That
that before?
works. Yeah, I
Okay.
think I've have.
So Bohr model of the chemical compound, or just the Bohr model.
All right.
So now I think what they want is a little more information than that. So for Newton's laws of motion, you might say something like what uh, an object in motion stays in motion, for example. The Bohr model um, let's go back to this here. It's a like a representation of I mean this isn't really it's not the most this is not really helpful. So the Bohr model. So this is like a representation of the atoms. Um,
Mm-hmm.
The atomic structure, that's what we're looking for. Uh, it attempts to model the atomic structure of an atom using a nucleus and surrounding electrons.
All right.
So you can see how we're doing this. So for six, I feel like six is something you could go out and look up on your own right now. Let's look at number seven. Come up with your own examples of a falsifiable statement and a non-falsifiable statement. So for your non-falsifiable statement, that's easier to explain. Um, Tell me something about a distant planet that no one has ever been to.
Um, have people, well, okay. Hold on, have people even like taken a rocket to Pluto? This is a good
No,
question.
no, go even further. Like a distant planet, distant planet, we'll just use your name, Ivana 14, 15. Okay. No, you gotta have some fun with this. Like
Yeah, like,
come up with come up with something, creative, there's
4 7 like the next planet's gonna be named after Formula One. Formula One
we'll think about
16.
something on the planet. What's going on the planet? Like it's run by cats or you
Oh my
know,
God, that would be like the best thing ever.
okay. Well, I mean that's an example. You
Distant
could
planet.
you,
I'm gonna use my name too. That sounds like a
you could
great
say
time.
cats rule over the uh rule over the dogs. I don't know. Like I think this will be okay. Like I don't depends on your instructor like humor level. The reason it's not falsifiable is nobody's been there. Nobody's been there to know. Like we can't prove
Yeah,
or disprove it basically.
yeah. I
Now
think
fall
a
Go
few
ahead.
days ago someone was like saying, "Oh yeah, aliens are a thing now," and I was like, "Wait, what?" Apparently
So,
that happened.
so something that's falsifiable would be like it's on a summer day in Arizona, the temperature is minus 10 degrees.
I wish. I wish it
Okay. Well,
was
but that's falsifiable because we can actually go out there and measure it and be like, nope, we're gonna send you to the loony bin because you're crazy.
the loony
Um,
bin.
well, the Looney Tunes,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
basically
yeah.
it's gotta be something that you can prove wrong.
And I can prove that's wrong because it is
Absolutely.
hot.
Yes.
It's a I think the highest degree Arizona once had this year was 115 or maybe 120 degrees.
Yes. All right, so pseudoscience. Find out what is meant by the term pseudoscience. So that's where, again, probably the internet's a great place to go. Pseudoscience is um, things that we maybe perceive to be science, but they're actually not real
Really?
science. Um, so I mean, here's some good ones. Astrology,
Dang.
stars. I don't know if you like your horoscope, if you're into
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff. Okay.
That
So
that is funny because but also kind of interesting that they don't that astrology is technically a false statement of science.
yeah, so pseudoscience is sort of it's a false science not governed by the scientific method. That's the key that they're looking for there. All right. And then example would be, and again, you want to look this up, is like astrology. Um,
I used
let's
to
go to
get
number
astrology and astronomy mixed up for some reason. I don't know why.
You're not alone. Not alone here. We've got enough time to do 10, and then we can come back to 9 after the break here. What is a control group? So this is a pure definition. So in an experiment, a control group does not receive the treatment in general. So they typically would divide two groups into a control and an experimental group. And the
Hmm.
control group does not receive the treatment, but they're sometimes like given a pill and say like, hey, this is the pill that we're giving the other group, but it's not. It's a way to determine if the pill is actually working by basically you're tricking both groups into thinking they've got it, but the control group does not receive the treatment.
It's like a test for like
Yeah,
medicine.
yes. So the control group is needed to compare the results with the experimental group. Because here's the reality. Sometimes people get better because they think they've received the treatment.
But then they get lied to that it wasn't the treatment.
That's right. That's right.
I wonder, like, okay, this is a question. I wonder if someone like did that before chemotherapy became the way it was. I wonder if someone did that because I
Couldn't
think,
couldn't tell you. Couldn't
yeah,
tell you.
I think it's a good question to ask, because I don't know. I've just heard a lot about chemotherapy and how it became the way it was. What do they do?
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna keep this document open. Please use that link for the next lesson, and we can either keep going with this or move on to something else. So let me know what you
Okay.
want to do, and I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ivana. I'll run here. Bye.